Alright, for today's video, we're going to look at finding surface area and volume of prisms. Now, when we're finding these surface area and volumes, we've got a couple of formulas that are on your formula chart. And I will also allow you to, let me scoot this screen over a little bit. There you go. And so you can either type these down. Okay, so now notice the three formulas that I have written there. Those allow us to find our total surface area. And that surface area is the sum of all the areas of all the faces, okay, or surfaces. Now, we talked a little bit in class about what makes up a face and whether or not, cylinders or cones have faces. What I did some research, and what I found, it basically depends on the definition that you want to use. So for kind of simplistic surface, to keep it simple, we're going to go ahead and allow a circle to be a face. So that way a cylinder does have two faces. That way it allows us to use the same terminology in everything that we do. Okay, so we're looking for the area of the faces. So for surface area, it's all of them, which gives you this formula. And the capital P stands for perimeter. H is the height of the prism. And this big B stands for the area of the base. And then for our lateral surface area, it's the perimeter. Again, the perimeter of the base times the height of the prism. And the lateral surface area, you can kind of think of, let's use a cylinder for an example, of a Coke can. The label, where you've got the red label for that Coke can, that would be the lateral surface area. Okay, so the total surface area is everything. The lateral is just the lateral faces. The lateral surface area does not include the bases. And then for our volume, it's the area of the base. That's what the big B stands for. Area of the base times the height. And remember, these are for any prism. Doesn't matter what type of base it is. This is for any and all prisms. All right, so now last thing we're going to do, we're going to look at two examples, and then that'll be it for the notes for today. Okay, so what we want to try to do, what the examples say, what the directions say, is we want to find the lateral, total, and the volume. Okay, so lateral surface area, total surface area, and volume. All right, so for our first one here, first thing we're going to do is go ahead and find the lateral surface area. Because, and I'll go back to that last slide there. If you look at the lateral surface area, it's perimeter times the height. Total surface area, perimeter times the height. So we're going to go ahead and find the lateral surface area first and use that to find our total surface area. Okay. All right, so back to what we were doing here. So our lateral surface area is our perimeter times the height. All right, so our perimeter, and now we want to use one of our two bases. Okay, so we've got two triangles, so those are going to be our two bases. Now, being GT, obviously I'm not going to give you everything. You're going to have to find a little bit. So I know that I've got one base here, and this is an isosceles triangle, by the way. These are both isosceles. So to find the missing parts that we want to find, I know one length of the side of my triangle is 4. I also know the height. So what I'm going to need to do is do a little Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so I'm going to go with that 2 squared plus 7 squared equals my c squared. And I'll go through this kind of quick. So that 2 squared is 4, 7 squared is 49. So we've got the square root of 50. So 53 is equal to our c squared. So then when I take the square root, when we take the square root of 53, we get about 7.28. Okay, so 7.28. So that's going to be the length of our sides. Okay, so for our perimeter, we're going to take that 7.28 times 2 because it's isosceles, which is about 14.56, and then we'll add the 4 to it. So our perimeter is going to be about 18.56. So that's our perimeter. Now I need the height of my prism, which is not 7. 7 is the height of the triangle. I need the height of the prism, which is going to be this 8 inches right here. That's the height of my prism. So I want 18.56 times 8, which is going to be about 148.49. time. So that's our lateral surface area. Now we'll go ahead and find the total surface area. So my total surface area, let me go ahead and put that off to the side here, is pH plus 2b. All right, so we know what our pH is. We've already figured that out. Our pH is 148.49. So plus 2 times. So now I need that big B. I need the area of my base. So remember, the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So the base of my triangle I actually gave you in the problem. I also gave you the height of the triangle. And I'm going to go ahead and take that divided by 2. And we'll go ahead and simplify that. So I have my 148.49 plus, let's see, 4 times 7 is 28. The 2's will cancel, so plus 28 here. So when I add those two together, I get 176.48. And that's going to be our total surface area. Finally, we need to go ahead and find our volume. So let me go back up to where you can see the figure here. So our volume is just that big B times H. So it's going to be the base of our triangle times the height of our triangle divided by 2. All of that is times the height of our prism, which we said earlier was 8. So it's all going to be all of that times 8. So multiplying that out, our 4 times 7 is 28. 28 divided by 2 is 14. And then we'll take 14 times 8, which is 112. Okay, so that's our volume. Now, for this next example, I'm going to go and leave that up to y'all. If you'd like to see this example worked in class, we can go ahead and do that, but I don't want to make the video any longer than it already is. So just let me know in class if you want to see the second example, and I'll be more than happy to do that before we start on our assignment. Thanks for watching.